Thank you, Premier, and good morning, everybody. Till 8 p.m. last night, there were 1,116 locally acquired cases of COVID-19 reported in New South Wales, and there were also 2 overseas cases. Again, the people of New South Wales came out in record numbers to be tested, and a big thank you again for people for doing so. There were 173,913 tests reported till 8 p.m. last night. In hospital at the moment, we have 917 COVID cases admitted. There are 150 people in intensive care, 66 of whom require ventilation. As we've seen to date, the majority of those people in ICU have not been vaccinated, and of those 150, 127 people in ICU are not vaccinated. As the Premier said, sadly, we report the deaths of 4 people today. They are a woman in her 80s from southwestern Sydney who passed away at Royal Prince Alfred Hospital. She was not vaccinated and also had some significant underlying health conditions. We also report the death of a woman in her 60s from Western Sydney who died at Concord Hospital. She was also not vaccinated and also had underlying medical conditions. A woman in her 50s passed away. She was from southwestern Sydney and died at Liverpool Hospital. She was not vaccinated and also had some significant underlying health conditions. A woman in her 70s passed away from southwest Sydney, also at Liverpool Hospital. She was not vaccinated and also had underlying health conditions. And on behalf of New South Wales Health, I extend my deepest sympathies to the families of those 4 ladies who have sadly passed away. Of concern today is that we have had sewage detections in quite a number of locations across New South Wales, and we do encourage residents of those areas to please come forward for testing. And those areas are in the Murrumbidgee LHD in Temora, in southern New South Wales area of Thredbo and Merimbula, in mid-north coast in Port Macquarie, Dunbogan, Bonny Hills, Western New South Wales, the people of Warren and Molong, and in Hunter, New England, Tamworth and Gunnedah. So if you live in any of those areas, please come forward for testing. We're currently unaware of any COVID positive people in that area that might explain the sewage detection. So please come forward for testing. And finally, I'd just like to again call out those suburbs in the Greater Sydney area where we continue to see the highest number of cases, and again emphasise our request to people living in those areas to please take up every opportunity for vaccination. Please follow the stay-home orders like everyone else in New South Wales, and please come forward for testing. And those suburbs are Guildford, Georges Hall, Marylands, Auburn, Punchbowl, Bankstown, Lakemba, Yagoona and South Granville. Thank you.